Is this where we say it's hammer time? Okay, we won't. 6 new hammers from Milwaukee. Let's have a closer look. Milwaukee has released a new line of hammers that really specialize in the automotive field, and we have 2 new ball peen hammers. We have 2 dead blow hammers and the dead blow ball peen hammer combination hammers. So let's go over each one of these, take a little closer look at them, and see some of the features that they have as well. Now first, let's take a look here at the ball peen hammers. First up, we have the 16-ounce ball peen hammer, and then we also have the bigger brother, the 24-ounce ball peen hammer. Looks like the handle size is very close, a little longer here on the 24-ounce, and model number on the 24-ounce is the 48-22-9131, and on the 24-ounce is the 48-22-9130. Now this steel construction comes all the way down through the handle, but obviously the rubber overmold is going to definitely help cut down on and mitigate any vibrations we have going on. This is great for, breaking apart ball joints, or, even clearancing situations, maybe firewalls, things like that. That's where the round part of a ball peen hammer definitely comes in handy for kind of stretching out sheet metal. Does a great job on that. Just a very versatile ball peen hammer, and it's nice to have a larger one and a smaller one. I do wish that they even had a larger ball peen, but still I think these will get by very well. Now as far as handle size, we're looking at right at 12.5 inches for the handle size on the 24-ounce, and right at 11.5 inches on the 16-ounce, so about 1 inch longer on the larger 24-ounce design. Now I want to touch on one thing specifically. If you look at the face of these, by the way, the milling is very nice on these. Looks like a clear coating on them as well. You can see right here where I've done a little hammering and definitely a clear coat that's coming off. So that's definitely not going to stay on there, but regardless, it makes them pretty. But the milled face, very clean on this. But if you look at the face of this, there's definitely, it's not flat. Now is that a bad thing? Because typically when you're using this end of a ball peen, you want it to strike kind of flat. And that is a good thing that it's rounded, because if it were perfectly flat, the chances of you actually hitting something dead flat is probably slim to none. So typically you'll see probably, 5 to 10 degree curvature, if you will, or something like that in the face of these. Again, a roundness there, so that when you're hitting something, you're not putting an eyebrow in it, because if it was a pure flat surface here, you would put a lot of eyebrows and things, because you would never be hitting dead flat on the face. You'd be putting a crevice here and there. And by the way, that same mentality is done on body hammers. So body guys can chime in here, and they know exactly what I'm talking about here, because even body hammers that look like they have a flat face do not have a flat face, because when you're pounding and stretching on metal, you're not wanting to hit the rim of that, you're wanting to hit the face of it. And again, there is a curvature there. Now, definitely not as much as on a ball peen or on the round end of it, but still there is a curvature on the front of that, and that is on purpose. Next up, we have the dead blow hammers, and these are in 28-ounce and 48-ounce weights. And again, you can see the handle is definitely longer on the 48. Looks like we get a full 12-inch handle from the bottom of the head to the bottom of the handle, and 11 inches from the bottom of the head to the bottom of the handle. So 11 inches on the 28-ounce and 12 inches on the 48-ounce. Now typically these are filled with lead shot, and that's the case. You can hear it shaking around in there, and that just gives you a gentle persuasion when you're hitting on something. And by the way, I've got a tip for you in just a moment on choosing which hammer to use when. Also on these dead blows, these are lanyard and tether ready. You see the holes here at the bottom of the handle, so you can hook your lanyard to it if you're working at heights, maybe even on heavy equipment, things like that. When you're up off the ground, making sure that you don't lose those, so you can definitely hook your tethers and lanyards up to these, ready to do that. We get a rubber overmold here on the handle, and you even get a flat surface on the top where you can easily stand these up as well. Now let's take a look at the dead blow ball peen hammers. Now here's something I don't know. Maybe some of you can chime in here. Now if that's a ball peen, this is a ball peen, and this is a dead blow, why is this a dead blow ball peen? Because I don't see a lead shot end on this, and I see what looks like kind of a ball peen. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that discussion, and but maybe somebody again might have a better idea than me. Anyway, these are the dead blow ball peen combination hammers, and we get a 32 ounce here, and we get a 16 ounce here. Probably going to have the same, probably 11 and a half inch, okay, 10 and a half inch handle on the smaller 16 ounce, and 11 inch, so looks like a half inch longer on the larger one. Yeah, 10 and a half and 11 inches on the larger 32 ounce ball peen dead blow. Just like on the dead blow hammers, they are lanyard and tether ready, so we have a hole in the handle ready to go to make sure you're not dropping those, or to at least mitigate that possibility. And just like on the dead blows, we have a flat spot on the top where we can stand these up in our toolbox if we need to, or on the ground, where we can easily reach down and grab those. That does make it handy from time to time. Now let's take a look at pricing on each one of these. They all come with a lifetime warranty. So hammer on everything you like, and Milwaukee's going to cover it if you have any issues. Obviously they don't want you probably melting this in the fire, but if you're using it under normal circumstances and they fail, then they're probably going to replace those for you. Now pricing on the dead blows, this is the 48-22-9150, which is the 28 ounce dead blow hammer, $29.97, so just short of 30 bucks. And then we have the 48-22-9151, which is the 48 ounce dead blow hammer. That's going to run you $35.97 or $36. Then moving to the dead blow ball peen hammers, this is the 48-22-9140, which is the 16 ounce. And that's going to run you $50.97, or let's call it $51. And then the 48-22-9141, which is the 32 ounce dead blow ball peen hammer, that's going to run you $69.97 or $70. Again, all these are going to come with a lifetime warranty. Then looking at the ball peens, we have the 48-22-9130. That's going to be $50.97 or $51. And then the larger 24 ounce, which is the 48-22-9131, and that's going to run $69.97 or 70 bucks. So there you have it. There's the new Milwaukee hammers. Now let me give you a tip on hammering things. Here's a good general tip for you when selecting a hammer. If you're using a hammer, let's say on aluminum, you probably wouldn't want to grab your ball peen unless you don't mind making some big marks in this, because you're going to obviously distort that metal. So reaching for a dead blow to persuade that. Now obviously a piece of metal channel or a piece of metal strap you're not going to be doing anything with, but let's say it's aluminum rear end or aluminum differential or something like that, and you're trying to persuade something. Don't grab your ball peen, start hitting on it. You're obviously going to hurt something, hitting aluminum casting or something like that. Grab your dead blow, and that's going to do quite well on something like aluminum. Now, when you're dealing with steel, obviously you could grab your dead blow ball peen or your ball peen hammer, and you're not going to have an issue with that. Again, with wood, that's going to determine on what are you doing. Grabbing a chisel, grab a brass hammer, or grab your dead blow ball peen hammer to use with that. Always try to make sure that whatever you're striking is harder than your hammer. In other words, that you're not destroying the object that you're striking, and if anything, it's going to distort somewhat of your hammer rather than the thing you're working on. So that's a good rule of thumb to use when selecting a hammer. Be sure to check these out from Milwaukee. We'll have a link to each of these in the description. Also, let us know what you think about these, and keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. Hey, if you don't mind, would you hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already? And by all means, if you hated our video, well, then give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.